All right, so we're live now, and today I'm very happy to have Gaute Sandal, the Chief Digital Officer of SATS, on the podcast. Gaute, you are responsible for in-house technology. You're managing the team of over 50 employees. You lead development and implementation of machine learning models. You're responsible for the app. So you're doing lots of things. For those of you who don't know what SATS is doing, that's the biggest fitness operator in the Nordics. You guys have almost 300 fitness clubs across the Nordic countries, over 700,000 members, and you employ almost 10,000 people. So, very interesting conversation today. We're going to be diving into the ecosystems, what kind of ecosystems you see on the market, what kind of ecosystem you are building yourself for fitness and health, and what's coming up for the industry. So let's get to it. Gaute, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Gaute, how would you describe success for you in your role as Chief Digital Officer?
Well, I think that comes all down to two things. So we kind of had two things that we try to do in SATS. One is on behalf of our members, and the other is on behalf of our staff. We try to make things, features, services, apps, etc., that both makes it easier for our members to succeed with their ambitions and to make that into good habits. And then on the other side, to help our staff at our clubs to spend the most of their time on members that are there, and not on administration and other types of boring stuff. So making sure that they have the tools and services that they need digitally to do their jobs in the best way. So, but first and foremost, helping our clubs to have members visiting them as often as possible or as consistent as possible.
Does this mean that member retention and engagement is your most important project?
I wouldn't call it a project, but it's really, I think, one of the largest commercial challenges we as a player in the industry. And I mean, it's a lot of people joining us and joining our competitors and our peers with the best of intentions, but they don't succeed. And of course, that's a lot up to them, their ability to come to the gym and to work out, etc. But the responsibility lies also with us to help them achieve that ambition. I mean, we, for example, we sell a lot of contracts with 12 months binding. And the way I see it is that, that's a commitment on both sides. So the member joins, he or she really wants to do health for a living. It's something that they want to do for a long time, at least a year. And then that's also our commitment to help them do that. And if they don't succeed, it's of course not only our fault, but it's our fault as well. Then we are not succeeding helping them with the way we should.
Can you possibly lead me through the user journey? So how do you make sure that the member really stays in the club? And by the way, before we do this, what's your current retention rate and churn rate?
Mm-hmm. So we don't communicate externally the retention rates. We are a listed company, so I can't say anything about that. But we put a lot of focus in this. And just for the context, we are what I would call a mid-market player. So not a low cost, not a premium, but something in between, with a full service offering. So both with a gym floor, of course, but we put a lot of emphasis on group training. That's our core differentiator, with around half of our member base using that on a regular level. So we put a lot of emphasis on the onboarding phase, as we call it, the first 8 weeks of a membership, where we have quite a sophisticated customer journey, which we lead you through as a new member, where the type of communication you receive, either as in email or SMS or push in the app, is based on your activity level. So we encourage you to try to get the habits going, work out once per week, test our group training class, do the ingestion session with the PT, etc. And if you're off to a good start, you will get some communication during the 8 weeks.
How do you communicate, and based on which kind of behavior?
Yes. So then if you are off to a good start after week 1, we might give you a high five, right, on the email or an app push saying, "Hey, Natalia, great that you got started." But if you don't, then the tone of voice and the nudging is quite different and more frequent. So there's a whole lot of decision points in this customer journey automated. We do our best to get you into those habits, because we know that it takes 8 weeks to create habits, and that's the key to everything. And we believe that it's not about good intentions. It's not about starting off with 5 workouts per week, but it's the habits, the consistency, that's really what makes it in the long run.
So the first 8 weeks are crucial. Okay.
Yes. And then, after 8 weeks, there's a lot of things we do to both motivate those that, are good and succeed. But most importantly, we communicate more and do more towards those that don't. And I think every digital feature that we make in the app or every send out we do through CRM or anything is really focused around that to help those that succeed to keep working out and those that struggle to succeed to get back to the good routines.
Would you describe your business as an ecosystem?
In a sense, yes, absolutely. And I think the core of the ecosystem in our view is the integration between the physical clubs and the digital services. So where, our staff at our clubs, they focus on the members being there, giving them the great experience, but not using so much time on the ones who don't show up. That's what we do on the back end or in the office. And we see that, for example, in a normal day or a week, we have around 10 to 20% more of our members using our app than using our gyms. Meaning that, the app as an interface, as a place to communicate and, to motivate and trigger the member is super important to get them down to the club. It's not only about the club. It's a combination of it. So I think that's at least the internal ecosystem. And then, of course, there's a lot of external players in the larger ecosystems as well, where we are not best in class at all at the moment, at least.
Like what?
Like connected fitness and all the other apps and wearables and the great equipment you can put in and connect with everything. I think we are really not best in class there, but mostly the internal ecosystem with the digital services and the clubs as the two most important points.
Well, you once tried to go into the hardware space as well with Mentra, the fitness mirror. What happened with this and why did it discontinue the project?
We took a big bet during the COVID on home fitness. Generally, you can say that people work out either at a club or at home or outdoor, and we want to be present at least in two of those three arenas, so to say. So we took a big bet on the home fitness. We developed a lot of hardware and content. We had this mirror for sale for a time, but we discontinued because when COVID was over and clubs reopened, people came back to the clubs. They don't want to be at home working out. They want to be at the club together with other people working out. So that's the demand just disappeared. We still have the same online library available. You can access it through an app, and there's usage. But people want to work out together with others physically away from home. That's at least how it is in the Nordic markets.
When I was last time in Oslo, I was amazed to see how many people are running around in the city. And that's, by the way, for those who don't know this or haven't been there yet, that's I think it's one of the most silent cities in Europe because you guys have like almost 100% e-cars on the streets. Like amazing how much activity is happening on the physical side of things outside as well. And lots of people were using trackers, like obviously. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but that was very, very clear and well noticed by any stranger on the street. So how do you integrate the data from trackers, all kinds of external devices from rings to wearables to maybe smart apparel as well, into your systems? Do you do this at all?
No, currently we do not at all. So that's absolutely on our list of things we wish to do. And personally, I use trackers as well. I'm running a lot outside, and I manually enter it in the SATS app to keep control of everything. But of course, that would be great to integrate. Coming back to where we started, our vision is to make people healthier and happier. And it's a bit harsh, but if you say that we have those members that succeed and those members that struggle to succeed. Those that succeed, it's a nice to have to integrate, across all platforms with everything, but it's not really making a big difference for them whether or not our app is integrated with Apple or Garmin or not, in my opinion. They wouldn't choose another gym that had that over us. That's at least what we believe in. And for those that struggle succeeding, yes, connecting more with the external ecosystems could make a difference, but we believe that it's more about the commitment to work out, the social part of it, and we are building features for that in our app. You can connect with friends, I can invite you to training, I can join your group training booking, etc.
All through personal user connections.
Yes. So because whether or not the SATS app is automatically tracking my activities outside the gym is not making the difference for me if I'm the one who struggled to succeed with training, we think. So that's the general thinking. But of course, we in the office here and we in the team, we wish to integrate with everything. But we put more focus on the features that try to trigger and nudge and motivate those members that might need it.
So no external integrations, whether with wearables or with other apps?
No, none at all.
Since you said you really are interested in doing this one day, what would be your ideal integration?
Well, I think the most important point for us would be the following. So we would wish to integrate with trackers so that you can automatically get everything in the same workout history in our app. We don't believe that we can be the focus of everything. We don't want to copy Strava or anyone else, but at least if you want to use our app as the primary fitness workout history, you should be able to do that. So if I go for a run outside, it should appear in my app that I did. As simple as that. It doesn't have to be very, very complex. But I think one of the most important points for us is that, back to the habits and the routines and our wish for our members to really get into the routines over time, it's important for us to know how to treat you as a member based on what you actually do, not only what you do in our gyms. So it might be that, we are pushing to you saying, hey, Natalia, we haven't seen you in 4 weeks. Where are you? Come back. Have you lost your habits? But it might be that, it's April, May, and the streets are dry and you have finally taken out your bicycle and started cycling outside. And, knowing that will help us communicate better with you and also target you better with regards to your workout frequency and habits. So I think that's the most important part, understanding the members' training activity outside the gyms to be able, again, to make them succeed and understand if they may be succeeding outside the gyms.
All right. Well, you're still not doing this. However, you are probably tracking quite some data inside the gym. What kind of data are you tracking? Is this just behavior data? Do you have any kind of computer vision installed to see what's happening in real time? Tell us a bit more about that part of your ecosystem.
Yeah, no. So we track the basics, which is of course your check-ins, your group training attendances, your PT sessions, your cancellations, and all of that. So we have a big network of clubs. So we also then track a bit, your movement between clubs and within a city, for example. So that's what we can track down to a member level. Then we also have tracking on much of our equipment on its use, but it's not connected. But we use that to optimize floor layout, what kind of equipment should be replaced because it's not being used. Maybe we should shift things a bit around to increase the usage or something like that. But it's not connected. So you don't connect you as a member using the equipment piece number X in the gym.
Not yet? Or is there any other rationale behind it?
Not yet, and I don't think we will in the. It would be a fantastic nice to have for those that need it and want it, but we don't see that as an important inflection point again to either make the ones not succeeding help them to better succeed to a large extent, nor for those that typically succeed would give them that much more of benefit in their workout life.
What I hear you saying, Gaute, is that you're really very focused on user behavior change and making sure that the habits are right.
Yes.
Your app also has quite some users. As far as I know, it's over 400,000 unique weekly users in the app, and it seems to be your digital home for members. Now, how about the hardware part of that business? You mentioned that, of course, you're tracking the machine usage. What kind of machines are you working with? Is there any kind of connectivity in those?
It varies a bit. I mean, we have quite a big portfolio of equipment in our clubs, and some of that has the potential of connecting, and some of it has not. But it's really not something we put a lot of focus on. When we choose equipment, it's about the reliability and uptime and downtime and maintenance, etc. And, being able to connect the equipment with digital services is really not something we focus on. We don't think will make the big difference.
What providers are you working with?
We are working with quite a few, actually. So we have some providers on cardio equipment and some other on strength equipment. So it's a mix. It's not one big or two big providers, but it's a mix.
Let's have a small outlook at what does it actually take for a provider of an ecosystem, let's say, whether it's a wearable like a Garmin watch or a connected hardware provider, to work together with SATS. Do they have a chance to work with you? And if yes, what do you need from them?
Absolutely, we are open. So but it's not that much about them and what they need to do. It's more about us putting it higher up on the priority list. But I think what we will do in the foreseeable future is to integrate with the typical trackers, the Garmins and the Apples and the Polars and the Fitbits, etc. So the biggest ones of them so that the member gets all of their workouts in the same feed in our app. And then, of course, modern APIs is really how things work on our end. So that's our requirements to any external company that we work with for those type of integrations. But that's really it. And I think most of them are using modern ways to transfer data.
Mm-hmm.
It should be possible. So it's not them, it's us.
Right. Gaute, I like your really focused approach on changing the member behavior and helping them to get healthier. If we zoom out a bit and look at the whole industry, what kind of fitness and health ecosystems are you most excited about?
They all have their pros and cons, so to say. Personally, I'm a Garmin user. I just love that. Apple, of course, it's so user friendly. It's both with the phone and the Apple Watch with regards to the simplicity of it, and I think it works really well for not only athletes and people again succeeding, but also those who just need some simple advice. I really like eGym and the way they connect equipment with the apps and body scanning and all of it, and making it easy for people who don't know exactly what to do in a gym to just get started and follow. You're being told what to do basically on the eGym circle. So they all have their different things. So it's not like it's one star out there that we think of, but in general, it's truly exciting to see all the development that is going on in the entire, health and fitness ecosystem. And if nothing else, I think it helps more people to become active. That's the most important part. I mean, we are in an industry with some mega trends that are really, really important, both for us as an industry to grow, but also for public health. That's the core of it.
What one thing are you most excited about, this last question, in terms of fitness and health technology?
That is a great question. And I think it's about understanding at what time, what intervention we need to give you to get you back into the routines you previously had. Because, talking to the ones that are passive is one thing. Talking to the ones that are active is another thing. But on the transition between being active with the good routines, there is a transition period going to less activity, and understanding that and really being able to intervene in the right moment with the right intervention. That is both commercially and in terms of public health the most important thing our industry can do.
And the $1 billion question. Thanks, Gaute, for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.